Today is day 26 of the 31 Days of Tarot, and today's question is, have you ever regretted a particular reading, either for yourself or for someone else? In terms of regrets, I don't have strong regrets, but there were definitely readings I've done where, in retrospect, it would have been better just not to have pulled the cards out at all. So one of the areas where I have found that I am particularly gifted with tarot is introducing tarot to people who have a background where tarot has been considered to be taboo. And one of the readings where I sort of felt like I just should have let it go was I was hanging out with a friend of mine and a friend of his, and it came up that I was a tarot reader. And the friend kind of was just like, I don't mess with that stuff. But he was open enough to continue talking about it, so I talked about some of my philosophies and how I approach tarot, and he sort of began to soften a little bit. And then he was kind of like, all right, maybe we can try this now. And it was one of those situations where, he was really guarded, and I knew in my gut that, this wasn't going to be a successful breakthrough reading. He wasn't really all that interested in having his cards read. It was just we were having conversations about it, and, well, we might as well do it because we can. And in retrospect, I kind of wish I hadn't done the reading. I don't think it was bad that I did do the reading, but it was definitely a case where tarot reading was something that in his mind was taboo, and on top of it, he just wasn't interested in it. It wasn't a case of someone who was actually interested in tarot, but very resistant to it because they had been taught it was a taboo. So it was kind of an interesting lesson in recognizing when someone is or isn't interested and whether they're just saying that they're interested to humor you. And in terms of regrets and readings for myself, I want to talk about phone apps for a second. And first I want to say that I have nothing against tarot apps for your phone. I personally have 5 of them on my phone. And I think there are totally legit reasons to have a tarot app on your phone. I thought it was super, super helpful when I was working in an office and I needed to get a read on a meeting. And I think they're great for situations where it would just be socially unacceptable to whip out a deck of cards and start reading. That said, I have noticed, with me personally, I have a problem with the phone apps and staying grounded and intentional when I'm doing a reading. And so many of the reads that I regret doing are usually because I have whipped out the phone and I have opened the tarot app to ask a question. I don't ground myself properly. And the next thing I know, I have asked the question of every deck that I have an app for. And I have asked the question of all of the spreads that are available in each of these apps that it might be applicable to. And I've basically confused the issue because I'm just not accepting any answer as being the right answer. Because once you've pulled way too many cards on a subject, all of that just becomes absolutely meaningless. And I tend to regret that after I do it. So, those are my regret stories when it comes to reading tarot. Have a great day, and I will talk to you tomorrow.